Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Straight to Midnight podcast, where for 1 hour we're going to be talking about all things gaming, anime, and League of Legends. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. So,
Hey, what's up?
anyways, why don't we all introduce ourselves? That way, we can, for new people.
I guess I'll start. My name is Mark. I'm Banana Boy. I just talk about stuff in the podcast like anime and League of Legends. And I'm the twin brother of the person who makes the podcast, Sonic Care.
Omar, you can go.
My name is Omar, and I go by Amizo. I am shit at League and I feed, but all I know about is League. So I'm expecting to talk about anime.
Bose.
I'm neighborhood loneliest edgelord. Always here at the corner of the park, playing with my knives.
And Steven.
What's up? I'm Asterkluke, also known as Steven. I make the webcomic Book of Soul.
Oh, wait, yeah, and also Aaron. You just...
You ain't gonna forget about me? Why am I last? Should be first.
Because I decided you were last. You're the one who said you didn't want to talk.
If you're not first, you're last.
If you're not first, you're last.
Boy.
Anyways, so there's a lot of stuff recently that's happened. I wasn't here last week because my Wi-Fi went out, so I wasn't able to make a podcast last week. But we're all good now. We're all fine. So yeah, there's been some new developments, I'll say, that's happened in the past week. With
Kane is busted.
That's not the first topic.
Is it?
Care.
I mean, we are gonna talk about him, but
Eventually, let's push off Kane until the very end.
anyways, I mean, we were gonna. I guess we'll just start off with the first topic, which was we were going to talk about just video games in general, and that's story and gameplay. The old school, which is better? Do you like the gameplay or do you like the story? Or
Gameplay, obviously.
well, I mean, there's some people who always argue, if it has a good story, I don't care about the gameplay. So
I mean, it just depends on the game. Not every game is the same.
Dude, I feel like
CS:GO doesn't have a story, but it's gameplay, and then you have The Last of Us, where it's a lot.
If I want a story, I'll go watch a movie because that's fine. But if I'm buying a game and I want to play a game and have interaction with it, I want really good gameplay and really good, most times really good story. But if it has a mediocre story, I'm fine with that if it has great gameplay.
what about you, Steven?
That is kind of tough. I feel similarly to Mark. I mean, no, not in the movie thing, but I mean, if it has good both, that's great. I mean, that is what makes a good game. But
I mean,
I would say,
hell, how many hours have you invested already in Persona 5?
like 100 plus probably.
damn
And that was on the first game because I wasn't rushing through.
Rookie
But
numbers.
I still need to start on New Game Plus, and then it'll probably get super high. But I mean, something like that. Good thing you mentioned that. I feel that in itself is one of the games where the gameplay and the actual storytelling are both done phenomenally well, to the point where it's not really a matter of you know this is better than that or anything like that. I think it shouldn't matter whether you boil it down to something being inherently better than itself. Like Omar said, a game can be good on its own merits just from gameplay wise. So there's an equal footing there, but I can't say if I'm on either side. That's really hard to pick.
I mean, yeah, there are some games.
What about you, Carlo?
I mean, yeah, there are some games fully focused on just gameplay, like Omar was saying. I mean, take a look at Left 4 Dead, take a look at CS:GO. I mean, just yeah, hell, I mean, we might as well even say Call of Duty, because I mean, there are some people who you tell them, have you played through the campaign of the recent Call of Duty, and they're like, I've never touched the campaign ever in any Call of Duty.
We could talk about the new
there
game.
there are games built purely on gameplay but like I guess sometimes I guess I guess when you need a story in a game is if you have a world that seems interesting to be in. So like Call of Duty, I could care less about like whether or not they had a story in a Call of Duty game. Like literally, I think most people play Call of Duty just simply play the multiplayer and that's it. I don't care what happens in that world.
What? I actually like the story in Call of Duty games pretty good. I don't like playing them, but I love the story. Like I would go on YouTube and just
I mean, one of
Watch
the most
Tort-
recent
Well,
one of the more recent games that came out was Little Nightmares, and that almost had no story. It was just pure gameplay. I mean, yeah, people got tidbits here and there, but that was mostly just from people like discovering. Like Limbo is a great game to talk about.
I think a good example
because
of like where gameplay was really good, but like story wise there was nothing there was probably the original Titanfall when it first released, where it was all multiplayer, but there was no story. They had this huge world with tons of possibilities for it, but like you had no idea what was going on. Hell, I think the only thing I learned from that was like they had a campaign there, but it was an online campaign. So like the only thing I really learned was that you were like the militia fighting against some like military police, and that's about it. I didn't even know what the hell happened at the very end. All I know is that something blew up and that was it. And I was like, wow, great story.
well.
What do you have to say?
I think games with story are trash.
Well,
You just want a game with a waifu. Shut up.
No, okay,
Damn.
alright, jokes aside. Games that have good stories are usually only single player or couch co-op of that sort. For example, Last of Us.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like
Last of Us had
Everybody loves
multiplayer?
Last of Us.
Last of Us had
God,
multiplayer.
don't talk to me about that trash.
Dude, I never
I-
played
Last
the
of Us-
game, but
That's
I feel
actually
like
a good
people-
point that Jose brought up. The fact that it's single player, like Undertale is another one. Like that's a single player.
oh, we're hitting the Undertale. Yeah.
I think that comes with the genre though. It makes sense
Yeah,
for a single
There you
player
go.
to be more of a story-based experience, because whenever you're with more people, if you're playing a game with multiple people in the room or playing it actually together, it changes how you view the story. Taking it into your perspective gives it context. When you have a bunch of people, it's kind of like what Aaron was saying when he just watches the cutscene. It's kind of like watching a movie. I mean, you don't know what everybody else is thinking. You might not even know what the person beside you is thinking, but it makes it such an individual experience, and that's really what people focus in on. I think something that just I'm stuttering. Oh my gosh. I think something that comes with technology getting so well, or getting better, I should say, is that it changes how we view this, and it actually makes the dynamic into one side or the other. When before, let's just say like a really old game, Tetris, something like that, Pong, that's all game focused. There is no, oh my gosh, the left bar in Pong, he killed your mother, and then it's like, oh my god. There's nothing like that. There's no drama. There's no build up. It's just boom, play, go.
That's
Yeah,
I'll have you know there was a very big story-oriented
In Tetris.
in Tetris, and I will tell
Oh
you
my
right now, it was the most saddest story I've ever seen. I cried. At
yeah,
the
you
end of it.
slaughtered thousands of blocks. Good job.
I
Anyways,
slaughtered thousands of innocent.
Moving on.
Yeah, I think one of the prime examples of like a good single player story driven game is the God of War series. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have played God of War, but that shit's like, I don't see
Button
myself.
mash.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't see myself playing God of War and like sitting there thinking, man, this game needs multiplayer in it, because if that game had multiplayer in it, I don't know if I even be anywhere good at that game. But because it's so single player driven, there's such a big story there that they were able to get 3 games off of it. Whereas if there had been probably multiplayer, maybe only 1 game would have been made, and that was it. And we might not have gotten anything else other than that.
I mean, I just prefer gameplay over anything. Like, if you give me like Fallout 4 is a good one where the story's not. I'm not gonna lie, Fallout 4 is not doesn't have the best story in the world. It's
Shit's
more-
spread on toast.
Yeah, it's not good, but the gameplay is so good and so polished. It's like, okay, but you can't shit on it too much for the story because most of the game is just focused on you, the fighting, the combat, the leveling, and everything. So you don't care too much for the story because the gameplay takes so much of a bigger part in it.
But then, of course, Fallout is a little bit different in the fact that while it may not have a story, it has a world surrounding it. Whereas
You can make your own story.
yeah, it's not. There's not a story in there, but there's a story to be made. Where
Just like Minecraft.
yeah,
Yeah.
Please no, stop.
Mine oddity, anyone?
yeah, guys, look up Mine Oddity. You'll not be disappointed. No, like with Fallout, while there's no story there per se. Like I think the story of Fallout is you're a guy, you wake up, and then you're trying to find where your son's at. That's literally the whole story. There's stories to be told in what you do inside the world, how you deal with certain situations and what you did. So I'm guessing in that way there's a story, but there is no actual story involved to the game. I mean, come on. I mean, I think literally there's some of I know for a fact that I've played Fallout and I still have yet to like beat the entire like main storyline because I get sidetracked by everything else I'm doing. So
Oh.
what about but how do you guys feel about that? Like do you agree with me on the fact that like if there's a world there already, you're creating your own story and you're fine with that?
I'm fine with creating my own story. I mean, heck, I play Minecraft, so I mean, that's the pinnacle of sandbox worlds where you just go in and just make your own story there.
What about
Even
you,
though it's
Steven?
copy paste.
Minecraft RP?
What about you, Steven?
What I'm thinking about now is, does good gameplay justify there being nothing more to the game itself? And if the game is sort of a rehash or a sequel, does that still justify the game for not improving on itself and having something more? Because I feel as though a sequel should improve on the game, regardless of it being, there's this that's slightly different, but it's still kind of the same thing.
Wait, are you talking about remasters or like
No.
Sequels.
A
Sequels.
sequel.
Part
I mean,
two.
remasters are,
if
That's another
Sequels to a
subject.
game. So like a game is released and then it had some good gameplay mechanics in it, but then the sequel comes out and while they kept the gameplay, there was nothing really improved upon there. They didn't add anything to it. Is because the gameplay is still good, is that still a good game, or is that now because you've already experienced the gameplay of it, that's no longer a good game? So but the other one is good still because the gameplay was there.
as if the gameplay mechanics are still the same, I would like them to add something to like spice it up, to give you a little bit more, just a little bit of a spin, but not
what's
like
that?
it, not to like take away the entire, not to like destroy the game mechanics and make them new again, but like to just give it a little bit of a spin, make it a little bit tastier, make it a little bit more sweeter for the experience. Because if it's just a sequel, it's usually supposed to be more focused to making the story continue and kind of make the story of this character or his journey to becoming a hero or god or whatever he is, to that's what the sequel's made to be. But but the gameplay can stay the same for the most part, as long as they add just a little bit of something different. Because if it was the exact same gameplay, no, I wouldn't play the game, because I don't want to play the same game with just a different story. I could just look that up online or anything with someone else playing the game, because then I would just be wasting my money, because I'm not going to be having fun playing the game since there's nothing different about it. I could just play the first one. That would suck.
What were you gonna say,
That's
Steven?
most-
Oh, no, I wasn't gonna say anything. You might have heard somebody else say.
So
And that's
How do you feel about this, Omar? About the sequel problem.
I mean, I don't think I've ever I don't know. I haven't seen many sequel games, so I wouldn't have an opinion on it because I'm not really that knowledgeable on games as much as I would like to be.
because you will feed more.
Hey, he
Yeah.
was honest. Give him props.
yeah,
I know.
Props.
I think
I don't get props. I'm a Yasuo main.
Hear what you say?
Props.
Shut up, Steven.
You asked me to give him props, so I give him two.
props to Omar.
Okay. All right
Hey,
then.
all of you.
I think we're.
Well, speaking of Yasuo mains,
How about we talk about
Stop.
Kane?
On to anime.
How about we talk about Kane?
Yasuo. Anime. Kane. Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's Yasui. It's Yasui.
Let's
Well,
talk
I think
about...
I think before we start talking about Kane, and I didn't mention this, but how about we start talking about like the big thing that's really causing a lot of champions to be broken right now is the lethality changes, or more importantly, Dust Blade, and how goddamn broken that is. That item
Yeah.
now.
I mean, in terms of
I haven't
like,
used. So I play top lane Garen only, pretty much. So I don't really get to see a lot of the Dusk Blade gameplay other than like late game. So I never get to see like how gruesome it is. But from what I've heard, it's like that thing is just like destroying people now.
I think
Mark, let me give you
let
a
Omar
visual.
explain the lethality and what's
Like
happening.
you play Garen, right? If
Yeah.
you build full lethality, you're probably gonna one shot someone with your Q. That's all I'm saying. Like I had a Scion earlier today that didn't even go tank. He went Dust Blade, Umos, and then like something else. I forgot what. It was like damage. I forget what it was. But he pretty much was like two-shotting everybody. And I was like, you can't kill him because he's naturally tanky. But he can kill you because he can stun you, ult you, and basic attack you and you're dead.
So
It's
what-
really
so
annoying.
So what exactly did they change in lethality
So,
to make it
the only
basically,
thing they
stronger?
changed
well, let me
instead-
explain. Basically,
Alright.
what they did to Dustblade was this: they changed the passive to where now, every single time you enter stealth, which is it. This is really stupid. Every single time you enter stealth, you do a basic attack for true damage. You do 300 to whatever something amount of true damage, as well as extra damage based on how much AD you have. So, but the thing that broke it was this has a 1 second cooldown. So every single time the enemy doesn't see you, you can do that again. So like,
Yeah.
in extended skirmishes, so someone like a Jhin, for example, can literally come in, one-shot the ADC, and walk away as if he didn't do anything wrong. And it just happens that way. Fights, it's literally, like, tanks do nothing to, like, Dustblade users because they will just one-shot you in, like, a couple of seconds.
Well, actually, looking at that. The only counter to lethality right now is building tank because it's
More
a
lethality?
pure. It's I mean, I don't know if it's a unique passive actually. Hold on, let me look at it since I'm in game right now.
Well, how about,
I don't think it's a unique passive, honestly. I think you can stack lethality.
what about you, Steven? How do you feel about the lethality stuff? I don't know if you've been playing League.
Well, I have, as much as, moving has stopped that. But I don't think that's, that is a problem that does come up. There are things that get really strong at certain points. But I think another thing that people aren't really addressing is a lot of the support items are actually pretty good. Like,
Oh
have
my-
you seen Ancient
Demon
Coin
stuff.
on Janna? No, I'm being serious.
Have you seen,
I don't
yeah,
know what
Ancient Coin on
What does
Janna.
Ancient Coin do exactly?
Ancient coin right now is really strong.
Buddy.
Like I've seen, like just LCS today, a lot of people were playing coin instead of relic shield or any or spell beads.
I think the two
It just
best
has
I think the two best items right now are Ancient Coin, and then Ardent Sense.
Dude, I love Relic Shield.
Oh yeah, for sure. You just run those together. But yeah, it's the difference though. Relic Shield, you actually have to work to last hit the minion. You don't have to put any work for Ancient Coin. The benefit, not the benefit, but the downfall of it is that it doesn't give you stats or anything But at that rate, it doesn't matter because if your ADC is doing good enough and last hitting everything, and you're just doing good in lane, you're gonna naturally get extra money that the other laner isn't gonna get.
No, hold up. Looking at the, I've looked at the amounts. Honestly, it looks like, you know how there's a percentage to drop? It looks like it's balanced because I never get more gold than in a normal game without a coin. The only strong part about it is the mana coins. The mana coins is what makes it so strong. You get to use your ability so much because they scale with missing mana. So
it's hard to completely judge.
It's hard to completely judge what's making it broken, but it is a broken item right now. Definitely.
Well, like the reason I'm stating this is because today, like in the COG game, they were talking about the ancient coin, the casters, right? And they specifically said what is strong about it is the mana coins because they scale with missing mana. So you get to throw your Thresh Lantern more often, you know, like, and you get cooldown for it, like 5% on the first thing and then 10% when you upgrade it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Regardless of that, though, I didn't even get to talk after the money, but I mean the mana coins too. But both of those, regardless, already put you at a great advantage above your enemy laner. That if they don't build that, they're gonna start going behind from you. It's just a lot of. It's kind of pointless to use the other support item, because you have to work much harder to get anything, and you don't refill mana with either one.
Yeah.
I mean, you might heal, but at that rate, I mean, why are you going to be healing if you're going to play Janna? Just shield your ADC.
I mean, why don't we just ask the man of the hour, Aaron? Like, you know, he's in gold now, so he should know exactly.
Goldrin?
Yeah, Goldrin. How do you feel, Aaron?
Goldem?
I don't think he's here, or he's muted probably.
Anyway, you're right. I was muted. But the gold coin thing, I don't really know. Like, I don't really play support too much, but you know, I usually just go relic shield. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people build it, and I really don't know about it.
So,
I don't know if it's good or bad.
So I have like no idea about like anything that's happening at like that bot lane, because all of you guys are like bot laners, mid laners. I'm just
map awareness, Mark.
Map awareness, Mark.
That doesn't mean
actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna say this right now. Map awareness. I was looking at your games.
Is going.
No, hold up. I want to say something right now. Like I'm about to like drop something on Carlos and Mark. I was looking at your match history, and like y'all get really salty about ganks. Your vision score on a Janna bot lane, 34 minutes was 1. You got 1 vision score because you put 1 ward down. You didn't even have Sightstone, Carlos. And then Mark, you were playing during top lane. You had a vision score of 11.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No control words are neither of y'all. What the fuck are y'all doing?
Okay.
Okay. First off, Omar, I don't place wards on my top lane because I don't give 2 fucks about what happens in the jungle, because the jungle doesn't come to my lane ever. And I never place a control word. Only unless it's super necessary, but I don't need it.
To defend myself from the fact that I'm playing support Janna and I only place 1 fucking word.
34 minutes, man. 34 fucking minutes.
ADC is
I know what game you're talking about. We won that game. We won that game.
That's full bullshit, because you 5-18, and I'm like, how?
Okay, the reason why is because a lot of times when I play support, I'm playing a filled role, and I usually just forget to buy my Sightstone. Like, I'm rushing so many items, because for me,
forget to buy your
It's the reason why I don't buy Sightstone now is because it's so hard to buy Sightstone when there's so much better stuff to buy right now. Literally, it's like
ancient coin.
Like, no, it's either buy Sightstone or buy an Ardent Sensor and give your ADC like a huge.
Excuse me? There are 6 items that you can buy outside of wards. You don't have a reason to not get at least 1 Sightstone up.
Okay, well,
it's 800 gold. It is not that much. And for warding security and then switching out your gold trinket for a red, that's even better. Especially if you're going up against, you know, someone who lays traps around. I mean, the benefits outweigh the consequences. If you're warding more, you're more aware of ganks. Honestly, I mean.
I have played games where I've warded a lot. It's just a simple matter of just sometimes I just purely forget about wards. And that's it.
I know it's worser at bot lane for wards, but for me,
More.
at top lane, I just quiet. I'm at top lane, and for me, I don't bother. Like, not the jungle never really comes to my lane. While I do ward. Only,
my only pet peeve.
Guys, wait. When I go top lane, the only times I ever ward is whenever I'm pushed up towards their turret and I know I'm overextending, so I ward so I know if the jungle is coming my way. That's the only time.
And you
I ever
still
really
get
ward.
caught?
Boy, that's not my fault that I get caught.
That's not your fault, really.
Let's talk about your mid lane for 1 second here.
Excuse me, boy. I hopped up from freaking bronze 3 all the way to bronze 2.
Listen.
Wait, no, okay, stop. Let's stop talking about that. No, I think the only thing I have a problem with top laners is just that, like, I've seen top laners like Mark who are just like, oh, I never get ganked at top, so I don't ward. Well, I'm like, if you don't get ganked at top, at least just, like, ward the Rift Herald at least so we know what's going on over there. Because I'll hear Rift Herald get taken, I'm like, oh, shit, man, we didn't even have an effing word on there. We didn't even know that they were over there. But, like...
Hard knock life.
Yeah, it's a hard knock knife. Anyways, let's,
Going back to Kane, because of
well,
that,
no, we were talking
lethality.
about lethality. Leaf.
Lethality. Yeah,
Leafy?
Yeah,
They-
lethality.
honestly-
Let's talk about Kane and what's up with that guy right now, because I'm seeing him everywhere.
Kane right now got a buff because Dustblade now resets with his ult, so that's
Wait,
great.
what?
When he ults, you know how he becomes untargetable? It resets Dustblade.
That's why he's one-shotting me. Oh my! I was like, why is he? This ult used to not do shit for damage, and now he like that ult does like he'll hit me, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm almost dead, but I'm not gonna die to his ult, and then his ult comes out, and I'm like, I fucking take like half my health gone. I'm like, what happened? He was weak.
Yeah.
But no, I was here. I was hearing some stuff about why he's like so strong right now, and some people were telling me it's because of what is it? Deathfire Touch right now is super good on him, which is because he I'm trying to remember, his passive is like something where he transforms into either like
Assassin or tank, yes.
yeah,
Depending on what he attacks, he just
Sonic or Shadow.
Assassin,
You know, it's easy.
assassin or tank.
God.
But it will change. You can still choose at some point which one you want to become. It doesn't matter who you attack, but just that you'll have to wait longer depending on who you're fighting.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, and so anyways they were saying that when he does that, these orbs come out and they drop, and so people realize that taking Deathfire Touch,
They say.
huh? Wait, what?
I was just memeing on you. Go on.
People realize that with Deathfire Touch, every single time that you attack with Kane, you proc Deathfire, and Deathfire, every tick that goes off is more orbs that he gets. So like,
Right, I heard about that.
so like, they're saying that because of that, he's able to get like his what is it, like transformation in like 10 minutes, and like he gets super strong by then. So like.
Mhm.
He's really good, right? Like, since, like, we've had a little bit of time to figure him out, he's gotten really good. Like, really fast, really good. And, like, I mean, he's just, I mean, his cooldowns are just on another level. Hell, I don't know the cooldowns on him, but I was seeing him, like, use his abilities, like, every second. So I don't know whether or not,
I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, he's not broken. Like, if lethality gets nerfed, like less lethality in the game, then that should even out damage he does now. The only thing I'm still bothered with though is the W scaling, because it's 1.280, and it feels like a lot, honestly. Because if he's darkened, he can knock you up, and he has a 1.2 scaling, so pretty much you're dead.
I have the, you know, you guys keep talking about this, but I have the perfect Kane counter, you know.
What's the perfect
What's the
Kane
Kane
counter?
counter?
You ban him.
Okay, well, of course, banning
You
Kane
all
is like.
get a ban.
Okay, of course, banning Kane is
Okay,
the same.
okay. let me tell you something, Steven. The person I'm banning right now is not Kane because he's not the bullshit one that's been pissing me off. But the bullshit one that's been pissing me off every game is Maokai. I cannot fight that dude at all in any game.
Yeah, Maokai's
Oh
right
my
now.
god, Maokai's retarded. And
Yeah,
oh my,
Mathlo's pretty good right now.
I mean, so is Cho'Gath right now, though. Like, they're pretty much
What with
permaban.
righteous? What you've seen that, right? The righteous glory build that they're doing with him. That's bullshit, dude. Fuck him.
dude, it's okay. I have no idea what to, like. Okay, here's my problem with Maokai. He ults, goes into your lane, and like it's impossible to dodge that ult. Like I don't know how you're supposed to dodge an ult that literally covers the entire effing lane. And like,
okay, hold up. Because so like mentioning that ult, how it's unavoidable. Like this is why I've been maining Xayah, and I can dodge that ult fine. So points for
I
me.
think it's like when I was versing him like bot lane, like I just found myself at a flash like early, like prematurely
It's not
to
even.
get out of
It's
there.
not even. It's not even the ult. It's that goddamn heal he has. That's like up every every set. Like especially in a team fight, that thing is getting procced every like half second in a fight. It's ridiculous how insane he gets that back up.
what about
And
you,
it's like
Steven?
you just can't kill him, and it restores so much health too. And I'm just like, and he's real tanky.
What about you,
I can't-
Steven?
I
Because
can't
I know
fight
there's
him.
no
Hold
way you've played a game right now and you haven't faced a Maokai yet.
Oh, Maokai? Yeah, he is a pain. I mean, playing mostly mid, and sometimes bot. It depends, but I've played an array of Maokai players. I mean, it hasn't gotten me when I was mid, mostly because I see him coming because I have his jungle warded. So most of the time, I'll see the ult come in, and I'll usually save my flash for it. Or if I have to fight, I just have to hope the jungler's near. But I mean, I'd say it's kind of hard to gauge how like I don't have that hatred for him because I don't play jungle. I don't play town. So poor Mark.
I mean, like for me on top lane, like in lane, it's like it's hard to like fight him at all, because you would go in like for me this is the problem with him. I'm at top lane and I'm Garen and I hit level 11, which is usually my power spike on him because I have the healing and I can just start bullying people for a long time. It's a problem when his healing outdoes mine literally the entire game, even when I hit level 16. That's weird to me because I've never had anyone outdo my healing or outdo my bruising to anyone. And not only that, he does so much, like his combo does so much damage to you, and he can just poke you in so much under turret, and like especially with his ult, if his jungler comes in, there's really no escape anymore at all. Like even if I've been at my turret or anything, he's super tanky at this point with that shield and everything that he has. So there's no, like, the heal helps him out so much, and he might, like, I find it so hard to just kill him at any point. Even in a team fight, like, I just find it, like, even if I shut down the guy early, in the team fight stages, he's just way higher tier, and I just can't beat him. Even if I destroy him in lane, he's still gonna be a threat no matter what I do. So it's just a pain to me to fight him.
I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. I feel as though there are champions out there that can beat him. I just feel as though it's gonna take. I think him and Chogi deserve some nerfs right now. Just simply, they're just flat out too strong and are permaban.
What's wrong with Cho'Gath? I haven't.
You haven't seen the righteous glory build that they've been doing?
I guess I've seen some Cho'Gaths, but they never been. a
No,
problem.
it's
I know
not that.
I
It's
know
not
that's
that, Mark. It's not that. The problem with Cho'Gath right now is his R is really damn strong. Combine that with what is it, Gargoyle Stoneplate, and you get basically a broken ass Cho'Gath, because his ult scales off of how much health he has, and so people figured out that if you build Gargoyle Stoneplate, and Gargoyle Stoneplate, when you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies, gives you 100% increase in how much health you have. So if you have 4,000 health, you have 8,000. And his ult, his ult does true damage, and at max rank it does like 1,000 damage, 1,000 true damage. And the problem with what is it? Gargoyle Stoneplate is that its passive says that whenever you use it, you get a decrease in damage, like a 60% decrease in damage. But because his ult is true damage based, that increase doesn't happen, and instead, basically what he gets is, once he activates it, he gets like 2,000 damage feast, 2,000 true damage feast. Basically, he can walk up to any ADC, press R, delete them, and walk away and not die.
Yeah. See, that's what I was gonna mention.
There's
Like, I don't
flat out nothing you
understand
can do.
why the 60% reduced damage isn't applied to that. It's really dumb. I think if they just do that, it might actually, make Cho'Gath.
I mean, the reason I keep talking about the Righteous Glory is because how they get to the ADC is they build a lot of speed items, and pretty much they build tanky with that item, and they have the Gargoyle Stoneplate as well. So they use Righteous Glory, which gives them the speed, and they have like Ghost or something. They rush towards the back line. They go through the entire enemy team and just chomp away at the ADC with their ult, and then they can just tank away at the rest of the damage that's been being dealt to them. That's kind of the build. I only know like this, like the two main things is Righteous Glory and Gargoyle Stoneplate is what you need.
What about you, Steven? How do you feel about Cho'Gath? Steven?
Honestly, in the past ranked games I've played, I've only played against one. He wasn't a problem. I don't know. Like I said before, these are top lane jungler kind of, rarely ever mid. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And then in anything specific, that bothers me. There's no specific champion that's getting at me.
But
at
of
the
course,
moment, at least for now.
as Steven said, the best counter is to just ban it in your ranked games. Don't ban like something stupid like Yorick or something like that no one's gonna play.
But you can't ban everyone.
Yeah, but you can ban 10
someone.
people.
Guaranteed always one ban for yourself. You just gotta make it work, man. I mean, they can't play everyone.
You have to figure out what you're good at playing against. If you know you're not good against playing against a Maokai, it's probably in your best interest to always ban Maokai.
I mean, that's why I always like name him at the beginning of the game. Like with Sho'Gath, with Sho'Gath, I'm not worried about, because most times I can shut him down. Like with Sho'Gath, I'm not too as worried about him, because if he doesn't do good early, he's not going to be doing anything late game. Not like he has super huge power spike. That with Maokai, that's the thing I'm worried about. It's like, even if I do good, he's still going to be doing good late game, and that's BS to me. So I ban him so I prevent that from ever happening.
Well,
so speaking of banning,
we're gonna get to
something similar that's going on is the current situation of YouTube. That didn't really work with the banning thing, but I just wanted to stop talking about Maokai.
Yeah. So here we are getting into the classic YouTube drama. You know how it is. You go on YouTube.
What are we,
sometimes.
drama alert now?
Let's get right into the news.
Hey
No.
guys.
Hey guys, Scarce here. Anyways, yeah. Let's talk about some YouTube drama. So recently this week, YouTube came out with a statement talking about censorship and new guidelines for content creators like myself and others about how to handle content that they deem inappropriate content, basically supremacist, inappropriate, or this is let me look it up real quick, because there's a whole statement on it. So, but basically it's just talking about guidelines for how to handle content that doesn't violate the terms of use, but people might say oh, that video is while it's not violating any terms of use, I don't like it because it offends me in some way. So this is in response to the advertisers pulling out and their way of fixing it right now. So I think Steven knows about the advertiser, so he can explain why I look up this stuff.
Well, in short, we did talk about this a little earlier before we started the podcast, but there are many advertisers who don't want their advertisements to go on videos they deem inappropriate or not sharing a similar message as their brand, and it's not good for their brand, at least in their way, to advertise something that might be deemed as not family friendly, something that might be controversial, such as news channels or anybody who cusses. Like it starts from certain things that are reasonable, where it's, censoring people who have very different opinions and are willing to share them a lot, and going down to, like I said, people
Profanity.
who just curse like barely.
Profanity.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I can't find it right now, so I'm still looking for it,
But to break it down, that is the main issue that's going on, and a lot of people are struggling, struggle, so to speak, with making under those guidelines. And, people have been for a while trying to find other means of trying to play along with these guidelines and trying to fit into the mold they're trying to build for a better community, so to speak. I'm doing air quotes. We're not doing webcam, but
yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah, so I think I have it. Give me a moment. It's just loading.
Gosh, I guess I have to keep talking.
No.
I don't know.
Well, this is the complimentary Book of Soul advertisement. Book of Soul is a webcomic on Tapastic and Tumblr that follows the... Carlos, hurry up, I can't keep this up. That follows the adventures of Luke.
Okay, yeah, I got it. So this is from a website called zerohedge.com.
Nice
so
plug-in, Steven.
if you want to look it up, go ahead. But this is what they say. Last night, YouTube took its official blog to more or less announce that they would be taking steps to censor content they found to be controversial, or even if it didn't break any laws or violate the site's user agreement. And while the message vowed to be part of an effort to fight terror content online, the movement was met with widespread skepticism among YouTubers as nothing more than a thinly veiled attempt to censor basically anybody. So, tougher standards. We'll soon be applying tougher treatment to videos that aren't illegal but have been flagged by users as potential violations of our policies on hate speech and violent extremism. If we find out these videos don't violate our policies but contain controversial religious or supremacist content, they will be placed in a limited state. These videos will remain on YouTube behind an interstitial, won't be recommended, won't be monetized, and won't have key features including comments, suggested videos, and likes. We'll begin to roll this new treatment out to videos on desktop versions of YouTube in the coming weeks, and we'll bring it to mobile experiences soon thereafter. These new approaches entail significant new internal tools and processes and will take time to fully implement. So basically, all that's saying is, look, we heard the advertisers, we heard you want tougher treatment, so basically what we're going to do is, even if your video doesn't violate anything at all, you're not violating a law, you're not violating our terms of use, if we feel as though your video is, has hate speech or is extremist or any of the kind of sort, we're going to put it basically make it to where your video is in a
blacklisted.
It's basically blacklisted. It's basically you can't find it anywhere. So, and a lot of YouTubers have spoken out against this because, one, it feels as though there's so many. Nobody has any idea what they mean by hate speech and what constitutes hate speech and what constitutes extremism. So, so I think a prime example is political commentators who talk about the news and like politics and stuff like that. Nobody knows exactly how they will get hit. Like, you know, if you're just simply talking about something that might seem racist, does that mean now you can't make money off of that because you talked about it? Or is that not going to happen? Do you have to like be racist? So nobody really knows exactly what they mean by hate speech and extremism. So that's why people are kind of like a bit right now being thrown for a loop. They're like, well, what exactly does that really mean? Because, you know, hate speech as of right now can be basically anything. So
Yeah.
I mean, hell, what I'm saying right now, speaking out against YouTube, someone might say, well, you're spewing hate speech against YouTube. So, I mean,
like slander or something.
yeah,
like
you're
that.
slandering
It's
YouTube.
pulling it out of there. You know?
When all I'm doing is really just talking about what they released as a statement.
Reporting it back. Yes. I think it's tough because the main defense is going to be, oh, free speech, free speech. But when arguing with people that are making them money and everything like that, they're on the line and they're leaning towards the advertisers and not towards the community themselves that have gotten them that far. And it's bogus because there are so many different ways to think about things that, I mean, yes, being stricter on the ones that need to is going to somewhat improve the experience.
But
I
mean, I think a prime example of this is, I think, I always like to watch a lot of Philip DeFranco.
Yeah,
and,
for
like,
sure.
Yeah, I love watching Philip DeFranco, but there's sometimes when he's talking about topics that are a bit like, you know, I guess what I'll call them in the political
controversial.
term. Yeah, controversial, or, you know, yeah, they just spark controversy. And so is that all of a sudden now considered hate speech? Is that considered extremism? Or is that just him talking about the topics? Like, what I need to know exactly what they mean by hate speech and extremism before they actually start telling me what.
Yeah, because it requires context. And because it's such a big site with so many new videos coming in every second, that it needs to be done by a bot. There's no way a person's going to do it. And with that, it's going to lose track of the meaning behind it, because there's sometimes where someone says something, and if one person flags it, that can demonetize the whole video. That can demonetize many different things, and it can't be done like that. It just doesn't make any sense with how grand scale it is now. It might have worked before because there wasn't as many and you could stop the big ones, but now at the point that it's at, it's hard to stop anybody saying anything.
Yeah,
I mean, how you said that it might be a bot and like getting demonetized because someone reported
it might be a bot. It is a bot. It is a bot doing all of this. So
no, I said I meant like I don't even know why I said it might. No, what I'm saying is that it being a bot is just the main source of why it's causing even more outrage, because it has no context.
Yeah.
But
no, I was gonna say but like the other issue like that happened is that, you know, you could get a bunch of people and to report a video and it gets demonetized when it never even had anything wrong to do with it.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's what people were talking about. It's like, well, what happens if, you know, some you know, random dude has like gets like, I don't know, like 2,000 people and decides to mass flag my video, and since now you can just flag videos and they don't need to have any context on why they were flagged, my video gets demonetized, gets blacklisted simply because like 2,000 or so people flagged it. So is that what's going to happen? Like, how does this bot actually function? How does it see through things? And then there was more controversy that came out when it was revealed who they were working with to make this bot, because some YouTubers were speaking out against the fact that one of the agencies they're partnered with is the ADL, or the Anti-Defamation League. And if you don't know, the ADL is the same people that like about like, I don't know, 3 months or so ago considered Pepe the Frog to be a racist symbol. So people are like, well, if you're partnered with people like this, like, well, I mean, I mean, it's really hard for us to really trust you when you say, oh, well, don't worry, your videos aren't going to get flagged, but you're partnered with someone that literally considers a cartoon frog racist. So
No. They're partnered with someone who doesn't have the time, the 5 minutes, to do a Google search of a character and actually determine where they're from and get context of anything.
Yeah.
Not just cartoon frog. I mean, let's not talk about controversial cartoons.
Yeah. So yeah, and so that's basically what's happening, and and then also people were speaking out against it because they were like, well, now that YouTube can take down videos without any context on why they took it down, does that mean, like, our video right now, the video we're making right now, is it possible YouTube could just take down our video, nobody sees it simply because we're speaking out against YouTube? We're talking about YouTube not in a good light. Is that all of a sudden saying, oh, well, these guys are does this bot look at oh, wow, these guys are slandering YouTube, so they're not, this video, I'm going to put this video behind a blacklist and they're not going to be able to do anything with it. So that's what people are speaking out against. They want to know exactly how this bot's going to function, whether or not it's going to take down videos based on them actually having racist imagery or hate speech or extremism, or is it just going to take them down based on oh yeah, well, some person said that this was racist, so yeah, it has to be racist. How does it work? Is there a way for me to fight against, basically, say that this isn't racist, or is it just this bot says it's racist and that's it, done forever, I can't do anything about it? So that's the big issue with this new system, and so it's just simple a matter of they need to give us the context of how this is all going to work, because so far hate speech and extremism, just to me, I don't know what that exactly means. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we've said in this we said in the 2 recent podcasts, and so I don't know if any of the stuff I've said could have been considered hate speech. So I just need to know exactly what that means before this system actually rolls out. I mean, how do you guys feel about it?
I mean, I don't know too much about the YouTube thing, but I do feel it's a little bit BS, and that YouTube is just pushing away their content creators, and they're not starting to care for them anymore, and it's a bad thing because YouTube is going down the gutter now. And while I know it's it's a way along down the road this may happen, but YouTube is gonna go down at some point because of that, because no one's gonna want to stay on a site where you can't make content anymore because it's censored to no hell, and there's no way you can make any content without it getting flagged and taken down.
I mean, me and Steven understand that pretty well, but there's a reason why me and Steven are
on.
Yeah, Steven, you can go.
Also, everyone's going to stay on a website where the player is completely better than anything else on any side of the internet. But besides that, I won't defend YouTube's actions, but I won't completely defend creators' response, because this is also another thing. If you want to make content, you just make it. There's nothing of, oh, I'm being censored. This is obviously they are going too far if you say fuck once, right? That's right. Okay. But there's no point in saying that, well, I can't make videos anymore because I'm going to get flagged again, or something's bad is going to happen, because nothing's going to stop you. There's so many people who are still on YouTube that don't need to be on there anymore because they're horrible people, and still people watch them.
Yeah.
But people will continuously say that, oh, it's not making me money anymore. And if you ever thought this was going to be a full-time job, unless you made a company, I don't think you were really thinking it through.
Yeah. I think...
and then that's why people are turning to stuff like Patreon and taking donations from people whenever they put out videos, because a lot of people still want the content creators to
or like
have.
on the gaming side, there are a lot more people now that are turning to Twitch to get their money, because Twitch is much more a lucrative way to make money, because there is no censorship on Twitch. Twitch is a live streaming site, meaning it's impossible for them to really censor anybody there, because
I mean, it's not only a live streaming site now. They added videos now, so they're pretty much competing with YouTube. They're making YouTube run for its money.
their videos are a lot
the
more.
video side of it, we can
Twitch
talk.
has its own problems. They're gonna have to deal with that before we start saying they're giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, like Twitch has its own problems and like what it does, but like gaming, on the gaming side, people are turning to Twitch, and then Patreon is a way for creators to basically make some money. I think the best way to put it, I guess the best way to describe this whole situation is that when the adpocalypse was happening, they spoke with the CEO of Patreon, and he said, well, I think it's sad to say that, you know, you have people that are getting around, like, have a million subscribers, but are only making like $100 because of the adpocalypse. So he was just like it sucks, because he felt as though YouTube was not dealing with the situation in a good way. And I think while this does deal with the situation, the way it deals with it has problems in and of itself, but it has yet to be seen what those problems are and how it'll really affect the content creators yet, because so far it doesn't seem like anything's happened yet, and no one's really had anything like taken down yet, so it's unknown exactly how this system is going to work and how it's going to affect the content creators. But that's basically the gist of the new censorship that's come out.
Well, it's midnight, my boys.
We still got one more topic.
We never stop this podcast at midnight.
But it says in the title, though.
I think
it's really
Aaron
it's not
just
straight
wants
to
to leave.
midnight. It's really like straight through midnight.
Yeah, straight through midnight podcast.
Let's rename it just for Aaron.
Y'all better rename it. This is some bullshit right
I'm
here.
not renaming the podcast.
This is full advertisement and call YouTube.
Oh no.
Anyways,
Gosh.
yeah, we got one last topic to talk about, and
No segue.
oh, you want to segue?
You didn't even give me a chance to think of one. Keep talking about YouTube. What do you think about it?
Segue.
So, yeah, and basically that's all happening, and then I don't know what's going on the anime side of YouTube and how they're dealing with it. I think they're also dealing with Patreon.
Speaking of anime.
No, I think no. I thought of it. All right, so we'll have to see how YouTube goes forward with their action. And speaking of forward, what animes are we all looking forward to? And what are we watching? That was great, and you know it.
That was so fucking cringy. That was rough.
That was rough, but
Speaking of new animes I'm watching, I started watching I don't know how to say the name. But To Their Children. Jose watches it. Maybe he knows how to say it.
Sure, children.
sure.
Is that really how you say it? Is that really how you say it?
The T should be silent. Usually in words like that, the T is silent.
Okay. But I started watching that, and my God, that is the most cutest and most moe anime I've ever watched.
Hold up, is there a girl in the call? I thought Mark was a guy.
No.
Honestly, it is really adorable. It's just feel-good
gosh.
romance.
I'm just bashing it. I don't know.
It is probably the most feel good romance anime you will
Mr.
ever
I
watch in
cried
your
the
life.
planet.
What?
The only thing I know about that anime is that there's just basically this alpha male guy in there, and he just like straight up just doesn't give a fuck about anybody. Like, I've seen clips of it.
Well, the anime is sorry. The anime is split up into each episode is split up into like 3 or 4 stories on each couple, and it shows like their relationship going through. it's like a little short short of like
Each episode's
couple.
like 12 minutes. Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a 12-minute episode with like 4 shorts in it of each couple going about their daily life. And it is some of the most cutest stories I've ever seen. I mean, honestly, some of them made me feel bad because I was like, oh my god, this is horrible.
the one with the
This
gloomy girl.
the one where the guy didn't know that the girl was dating her for a year.
Oh, that
That
one's
made
also
me-
pretty sad.
That made me feel so bad.
Yo, guys, quit giving spoilers. Anyways.
Yeah, you fucking weeaboos.
That's true.
Anyways,
Aaron, aren't you a weeaboo too?
what about you, Steven? You watching anything right now, or like looking forward to
I
anything?
mean, still My Hero Academia. That's still what I'm watching. If we're gonna keep that up from last time, there's nothing I'm really looking forward to. Nothing that's catching my eye.
The only thing I know about My Hero
Um,
Academia that happened right now is that they had the fight against.
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's.
I'm just kidding. I mean,
I'm not-
it's
I'm not-
obvious. I don't care.
They had the fight against what's his name, Stain,
It'll hit a stain.
and I've seen some stuff about it, and I don't want to say anything about it, but I just have to say that was probably one of the coolest.
That was probably one of the coolest 10 minutes of my life.
Yeah, one of the coolest like
One of
10
the best
minutes.
one of the best animated fights I've ever seen in my life. Very good animation.
No, the Midoriya vs Todoroki fight was the best animated like fight that I've ever seen in my life. So shut the fuck up, Mark. You don't know what you're talking about.
Fate.
Excuse
said
me,
one of
that's
the
the
No,
greatest thing.
stop. We're not talking about fate.
When
Mark-
Carlos outclasses Mark in
Unbelievably works.
being a weeaboo,
That's true.
then Jose outclasses everyone, son. That's how this
That's
works.
right, I do. I live for my
Well,
wife.
technically, I started
have
watching
nothing
the
else.
I started watching the Fate series just a few days ago, but I
But-
haven't watched
but-
enough to.
But I think Mark wins in the end, though, because he manages a job and he's still a weeaboo.
Oh gosh.
That is true.
Yeah.
However,
Wait,
neither,
dedication
none
to
of
the
us.
platform.
Can we really bash on the guy who has a job?
But the real question
None
is,
of
do
us.
weeaboos even have jobs?
Yes,
dude?
because he doesn't have, a relationship outside of his waifu.
Dude, none of
Really?
us have body pillows.
Steven, you're the only one with the girlfriend. Stop.
That's true.
Dude, what about Aaron?
What about you,
Body.
Aaron? What are you watching in anime right now? Are you not watching anything?
I ain't watching
Oh, I watch
shit.
hentai.
He's probably watching a 5-star trash.
He's watching Terra for Mars.
Look.
Trash it.
Alright, if we're gonna talk about terraformers, if you want to see some big ass, buff ass roaches, dude, you go watch terraformers, alright?
What the hell is Terraformers? It sounds fucking gay.
Dude, it is.
Wow. Wait,
Dude,
Mark.
we're gonna get copyrighted, dude.
Dude, it's like JoJo mixed in with fucking.
I think he didn't like
Oh,
You
JoJo.
hated JoJo.
Don't
game.
slander JoJo.
Oh,
Piece of
God.
shit.
Don't
slander JoJo.
don't you Mark and Jose are like, don't you dare lump JoJo, a gem, with your trash terraformers.
Look.
That's like
JoJo is trash anime,
That's like
alright?
comparing a diamond to dog.
I read
You don't put-
JoJo
you
A
don't
manga.
compare a
diamond
diamond
is
to dog.
unbreakable.
Yeah, a
you're
diamond is unbreakable.
It's more like comparing dog shit to dog shit, dude.
Dude,
Just
I
like
haven't
they're just
caught that
different
before.
colors, dude. They're
Bro,
different
right
colors.
now,
dog
bro, right now I'm
vomit.
not
They
right now I'm
come in
not watching anything, but I did this past week. If you didn't know, Twitch had their Crunchyroll anime marathon thing, and that was pretty entertaining to watch. If you didn't watch it, it was pretty hilarious to watch.
I only tuned in some days. Like a lot of the anime I wasn't interested in, and the animes I were interested in were just I already had watched them. So I was like, eh. I love the memes in the chat though. They had some top quality memes there.
Oh yeah, no, there were some great memes in there, especially when the breaks came in. Oh my god, the breaks came in at the perfect times, man. Like, someone's about to get killed. Why don't we have a break right here, right then? So, like, yeah, let's just say that there were some things that happened in that chat that, like, well, it was pretty meme, really. And then, like, I think around, like, on the they were showing one of the animes, and someone decided to do a raid on the chat, and like it was just for like around 5 hours. It's just people like spamming, "Let the weebs live," and then the other side was spamming, "Let the weebs die," and I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't even read chat because it was going so damn fast. So yeah, that all happened, and yeah, I don't think I'm watching anything right now, but I have wanted to start watching the Fate series, so that's literally the only thing I want to watch.
As far as I can tell from my 3-episode experience, so far it's good. It's not a bad series. It's not like, I'm not gonna say it's like worthy of like praise the Lord or the Son or something like that, but
dude, Jose, are you like the
only?
So Jose, I have to ask because I don't know. I was talking to Dante and his friends, and I told them that you hate Saber, and they were like, I don't know how Jose hates Saber.
Dude,
well, I don't think
Saber's trash waifu, dude.
He never said he hated Saber. He said he hated her as a waifu.
Yeah,
That's
she's a
what he
good
said.
character. She's a good person thing, but like, shit waifu, shit taste.
Dude, no one wants to hear about all of your shit waifus, dude. Let's just stop talking about waifus because they're shit in general. All right.
Listen,
Dude,
Aaron,
you watch
listen.
shitty 5.0 rated anime, dude. I don't want to hear it.
Dude, at least I
Listen,
don't
Aaron.
have a weeab and fucking waifu.
At least I don't have a weird.
Listen, Aaron, you don't need a waifu because you got Lydia, okay?
Oh,
Your 3D trap
Oh.
boyfriend, girlfriend.
Wait, Mark, don't you have a girlfriend too?
Oh.
Absolutely not.
let's not
What's
talk
her
about
name?
that. Don't say anything, because I
Don't
Don't say
know.
say that name.
No, we're waiting for him to get into college to meme on him.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all mean me? But y'all spare Mark?
Because
because
Mark
it's
is
not
an
gonna be-
agreeable
it's not-
person.
This is
Why
not
don't
Mark
I-
is
Yeah.
decent people. You're like what
Yeah.
is it? The roach that I scrape off of my shoe.
Wow.
Hey,
I see how it is.
That roach you're talking shit to, he's gold.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
guys. I don't.
Yeah.
Our boy Aaron made gold 5, so you know he's like golden shit now. I guess.
Yeah. Fuck all these other guys, dude. Don't listen to them. Just listen to me. Alright?
Hey, you said it yourself, Aaron. Shit's still shit. You're just colored yellow.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh,
I heard
Oof.
about that one.
All right. I think we should start wrapping this podcast up. So
Alright.
all right, Steven, plug in your.
Wait,
topic.
Dante and them have watched the Fate series?
his friends and them, they watch it. I don't think Dante's watched it, but his friends have.
Dude, guys,
Um,
also, just as a side note, I know I didn't say this during the league section of the podcast. Can I say that Mid Garen is for some reason so good, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Mid-Garen.
Can you understand? I don't understand why nobody understands this. If you go mid lane as anything other than a mid laner, you're gonna wreck shit because you're not meant to be in the fucking mid lane.
Not necessarily true. It's just probably the mid
Look, you
laner
take an
didn't
ADC
expect
mid,
anything.
you're gonna win because you outrange them. You take a top laner, you're gonna win because you're a juggernaut.
Actually, if they're smart enough to play, you can
Yeah,
beat
they can
anybody
still beat
else.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's
the
just-
only
it's just
reason
how
the only reason it sounds good on paper is because probably you just surprised them and they weren't prepared to fight
Like,
against you.
A mid laner like this? Oh my.
Anyways, I think we're done with the podcast. So, Steven, why don't you do your plug-in and then we'll be done.
Oh, we're not all saying bye?
Oh,
I
okay.
guess
Well,
it's
let's
me.
start with Aaron. Aaron, why don't you say your goodbye to the good people of our podcast?
What is there to say? Goodbye. Don't be a weeaboo like these guys. And then you're golden for life, dude.
You're
Uh,
golden for one season, okay?
Yeah, you're golden for one season. Mark.
Look,
Sorry.
Me?
Yeah.
Stay cool, guys. Keep being a weeb. Watch anime every day, and you know, unlike these guys, find a job and work. Is making money the life.
Fucking weeb. Omar.
I'm a Yasuo main. You all suck. My team is too heavy to carry.
Repart shit team. I deserve Challenger.
Dude, I'm low-key challenger. It's just these teams.
Repotted.
I get stuck in bronze. All these
We're
teams.
potted.
So is that it?
Steven.
No, Jose.
Yeah, Bose. Say you.
I'm
goodbye.
not lonely. I have my waifu's. I swear, I'm not lonely.
I like that one.
I like that
I
one.
like that. I like
Short
that.
and
I like
sweet.
that a lot.
And finally, Steven, you do your little plug-in.
All right, same as before. You can find me on anything under the username Asterkluke or the handle, whatever. And I have a webcomic Book of Soul.
out
And
of
it's
10
about
stars.
kids with superpowers. It's on Tapastic. You probably should read it there. I upload mostly every Monday. We'll see how I feel. And,
Yeah.
I sometimes post videos.
Yeah, and so
If you go to his channel, watch the why I don't like onions video. It's nice.
Dude,
Okay.
epic storytelling, better than The Last of Us.
so I guess that's
But do
it.
I need a gameplay?
I guess that's it for this podcast, guys, and I thank you guys all for tuning in and watching. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all on the next one.
All right, bye.
Go watch it.
Bye.
Smash that like button.
Yasuki.
And